This is the story of Kim Gong-ja, the so-called loser who got the world's most twisted cheating skill after crying over a hero on TV. And his power is simple: let yourself be killed, steal your killer's best ability, and then wake up yesterday. After using this to erase a future tyrant, he's now stuck with a ghostly mentor and a murder count in the thousands, all from offing himself. He might be stuck in an endless cycle of pain, but he's finally climbing the tower, one gruesome death at a time. Sure, he might save the world someday, but only if his crippling envy and zero talent don't get him permanently dead first. The story begins with breaking news on TV about the failure of a major guild. The Black Dragon Guild, a famous top-tier group, boldly challenged the 40th floor of the tower. They wanted to prove their great strength to everyone. Despite their strong confidence, the guild members have now returned, completely defeated. The reason for their loss is a single hunter, the #1 ranked hunter, called the Flame Emperor, who has cleared the floor boss alone and set a new record all by himself. The news broadcast shows the Flame Emperor in the middle of an interview. The hunter suddenly takes the microphone from the reporter. He complains loudly about people using his nickname. He wants them to use his real name instead. He continues to grumble about finding the person who first started calling him the Flame Emperor. At the same time, a young man watches this news report from his very small room. He admires how the Flame Emperor speaks his mind so freely. The young man then scrolls through a website named HunterNet. The site is filled with comments from people criticizing the Flame Emperor's rude attitude. The young man does not join the critics. He repeatedly types that he wants to be like the Flame Emperor too. He feels that if this world were a storybook, the Flame Emperor would be the main hero. He himself would only be a nameless extra character with no importance. Meanwhile, the reporter on television continues to describe the famous hunter. The Flame Emperor's real name is Yoon Soo-ha. The reporter reminds the audience that Yoon Soo-ha awakened as a hunter in his early 20s. He once defeated a boss monster that the mighty Black Dragon Guild could not conquer for 10 long years. Yoon Soo-ha defeated it in less than 1 month. These incredible achievements make him a living legend. The reporter then asks for a phrase of encouragement for new hunters. Yoon Soo-ha simply declares that people who will succeed will succeed. He also states that anyone who stands in his way will be killed. With that final statement, he walks off and ends the broadcast. The young man slams his tablet down in frustration. He feels as if the Flame Emperor's words ignored people like him. He wishes deeply for just one decent skill like the Flame Emperor owns. This young man lives in a cramped studio apartment. Other hunters mock him for being a useless F-class hunter with no special ability. His situation makes him feel truly hopeless. Tears fall from his eyes as he cries out. He desperately wants to be like the Flame Emperor or to have his power for just one moment in his life. A very bright light suddenly shines from above him at that exact moment. He looks up and recognizes a sight he has only seen in countless online videos. A glowing card floats down through the air. A system message from the tower appears before his eyes. The message states the tower acknowledges his deep and unsightly envy. It rewards this powerful emotion with a special skill card. The tone of the system feels strange and different from normal messages, but the young man does not care. He has finally received a skill, and it is a rare gold S-rank card. He eagerly grabs the card from the air. The description of the skill appears to him. The title reads, Unsightly Envy. The effect states the skill activates automatically upon the user's death. It allows him to copy one random ability from the specific person who kills him. He cannot copy a skill from the same person twice. To activate this power, he must die first. He stares at the card in total disbelief. He wonders about the cruel and twisted nature of the power he just obtained. The tower appeared in the world one day without any warning. It stood so tall that people could see it from anywhere on Earth. The first people to enter were those who have nothing left to lose. Inside, they discovered each floor is filled with dangerous monsters from other worlds. A few of these explorers were chosen by the tower and granted special skills. Rumors about these powers and treasures spread quickly, and countless people then flocked to the tower hoping to hunt monsters and gain strength for themselves. During a live television interview, a man claims he witnessed the Flame Emperor in battle. He describes the hunter moving like he was dancing with his flaming spear. At a nearby food stall, a young man named Kim Gong-ja watches this broadcast. He asks the stall owner to change the channel. The owner insists the news is interesting and asks if Gong-ja dislikes the Flame Emperor. Gong-ja explains his feeling is not dislike. He says there are people who live amazing lives like the Flame Emperor, and there are people like him stuck with terrible luck and misery. The stall owner does not believe him. Gong-ja then mutters that he actually received an S+ rank skill yesterday, but using it would cause his death. He grows more frustrated because he cannot reveal this dangerous skill to the Hunter Association for registration. On his walk home, the system interface flashes before his eyes. It shows the day's Hunter rankings with the Flame Emperor in first place. The Black Dragon holds second place, and the Viper is in third. A sudden headache strikes Gongja, followed by a strange noise from a nearby alley. Curious, he peeks inside and spots the Flame Emperor confronting the Saintess. The Flame Emperor accuses the Saintess of pretending to be innocent. He reveals he poisoned the drink she just had with basilisk stomach acid. He states it is the same poison she planned to use on him. The Flame Emperor claims he would already be dead without his own skills. The bottle shatters on the ground, hissing with acid. The Saintess insists everything is a misunderstanding. She says she only wanted to clear the tower together as a team. The Flame Emperor responds coldly that he once believed that too, but now knows he was wrong. Hidden nearby, Kim Gongja listens in shock. He realizes all the news reports about the Flame Emperor and Saintess dating are completely false. The Flame Emperor then pins the Saintess by her neck against the wall. He tells her to nod for answers and warns her not to lie, claiming he has a lie detection skill. He promises he might give her the antidote if she answers honestly. He asks if the witch from the Black Dragon Guild sent her to kill him. The Saintess nods weakly. The Flame Emperor burns her alive immediately. Her screams echo through the alley. Kim Gongja trembles in horror, realizing the world's beloved hero is actually a cold murderer. Panicking, Gongja tries to flee, but steps on a broken bottle. The noise makes the Flame Emperor turn around. The hunter remarks that he thought he chased away all the rats, but missed one. Terrified, Kim Gongja locks eyes with him and feels icy dread. The Flame Emperor's gaze is sharp and cruel, like someone who has killed many times. Gongja stumbles and falls to the ground as the Flame Emperor approaches. Desperate, Gongja pleads for his life, saying he did not see anything. The Flame Emperor says he does not believe him and demands the truth. He threatens to kill Gongja like the Saintess and accuses him of being sent by the Black Dragon Guild. As Gongja trembles, he wonders if this ruthless person is truly the same hero admired by the world. Gongja shouts that the Flame Emperor should use his lie detection skill to see he is telling the truth. The Flame Emperor calmly replies that he has no such skill. Gongja freezes, realizing the Flame Emperor killed the Saintess without any proof, only on suspicion. The Flame Emperor coldly states the Saintess was truly plotting to poison him. He says if he had not killed her today, she would have killed him tomorrow. Gongja feels nervous, as the Flame Emperor says he already knows the truth. The hunter says he can see Gongja's innocence because he asked about the lie detection skill. Gongja feels relieved and thankful, believing he will be spared. However, the Flame Emperor suddenly places his hand on Gongja's head. He burns him to death, telling him he should just die. The Flame Emperor reveals his real name is Yoon Soo-ha. In a flashback, Gongja remembered his childhood headmaster. The headmaster told him that his name, Gongja, meant the Korean name for Confucius. It signified he should become a great person like the Flame Emperor. But in the present, Kim Gongja does not want to die this way. He is filled with immense pain and deep regret as the flames consume him. But just then, a system interface then appears, showing that Kim Gongja has died. Because of his death, the skill requirements are fulfilled. The system proceeds to copy one of Yoon Soo-ha's skill completely for Kim Gongja, and a glowing skill card materializes before him in this space after death. He grabs the card. When he opens his eyes, he finds himself back in his room. To his shock, he sees the news announcing that the Flame Emperor has cleared the 40th floor entirely on his own. This is a feat that even the Black Dragon Guild has never achieved. Gongja feels deeply confused and wonders what is happening. At first, he does not understand how he ended up back home. He remembers dying painfully, yet now he is in his room again. As he listens to the news, he realizes everything is still the same as the previous day. The events are repeating as if nothing has changed. This repetition makes him very confused. He decides to check his skill card. It looks the same as before. He thinks he might have copied a skill from Yoon Soo-ha, the Flame Emperor, when he died. While he is thinking about it, a new system message appears before him. It introduces the skill Time Traveler's Clock. The message explains that when he dies, the skill activates and sends him 24 hours back in time. His memories and copied skills remain the same, so he remembers everything that happened. The message also warns him that the higher the copied skills rank, the heavier the penalty for using it. This explains the danger behind the power, and why he is now back in the past. Everything begins to make sense to Gongja. He realizes the secret behind Yoon Soo-ha's power. Yoon Soo-ha killed the Saintess because he had seen her poison him the day before. With his time travel ability, he must have gone back in time and killed her first to protect himself. Now, Gongja understands why Yoon Soo-ha killed him too. Yoon Soo-ha must have thought Gongja was a future threat and decided to eliminate him. When Gongja listens to the news again, he hears Yoon Soo-ha declaring he will kill anyone who tries to match his strength. This time, Gongja feels different. He is ready for Yoon Soo-ha and determined to face him no matter what happens. Gongja lives in Babylon, a city built for hunters where people train to fight monsters and challenge the tower. As he thinks about Yoon Soo-ha, he suddenly hears news that a fire has broken out in the tower. He immediately suspects that Yoon Soo-ha caused it to destroy evidence of his crimes, including the murder of the saintess. The citizens do not know this and rush to help put out the fire. Gongja knows the fire is not just an accident. Authorities and guilds begin to work together to control the blaze. The Witch of the Black Dragon Guild and a master alchemist join in to help. The alchemist suggests sending a team inside to check for survivors. A city guard tells her that no one is inside because the area was sealed 5 years ago. The tower has a grim reputation where once someone enters, they never return. Fires like this happen often, but this one feels different to Gongja. He expects the saintess to appear, but she does not. Her absence makes him suspicious since she never misses important events. Others around him believe she is out on a date with Yoon Soo-ha, which only confuses him more. Meanwhile, Yoon Soo-ha appears, pretending not to know what caused the fire. He acts like a hero, offering to help put it out. People cheer him on, saying he will be praised for his bravery. Gongja knows the truth. To him, Yoon Soo-ha is just a murderer pretending to be righteous. Without hesitation, Gongja runs toward the burning tower. People try to stop him, warning him of the danger, but he ignores them. His only focus is how to kill Yoon Soo-ha. To others, he looks reckless, but Gongja knows exactly what he is doing. Entering the fire is part of his plan. As soon as he steps into the flames, he dies. A system message appears, telling him the skill Time Traveler's Clock has activated, sending him 24 hours back in time. When he wakes up, he is back in his room again. The system reports no penalty for his death. Gongja remains an F-class hunter, and he knows that his low rank protects him from heavier penalties. Still, he realizes he is too weak to defeat Yoon Soo-ha right now. Even if he kills Yoon Soo-ha will just return after 24 hours, just like he did. Determined, Gongja begins forming a new plan. He recalls hearing about the day Yoon Soo-ha first awakened his power. He calculates that he must go back 4,050 times to reach that point in time. Only then can he kill Yoon Soo-ha before he becomes the powerful Flame Emperor. With that resolve, Gongja makes his decision. He will keep dying and traveling back again and again until he reaches the moment he can stop Yoon Soo-ha for good. He knows the path ahead will be painful and endless, but he accepts it. No matter how many times it takes, Gongja is determined to change fate and end the Flame Emperor's reign before it begins. Kim Gongja endures 30 more deaths than he first planned. He finally manages to travel far enough back in time. He arrives in the past before Yoon Soo-ha becomes the legendary figure known as the Flame Emperor. The pain and exhaustion from countless deaths feel unbearable. Yet, Gongja pushes through all of it. He is determined to erase Yoon Soo-ha's dark legacy once and for all. Now, he feels it is finally his turn to become the true hunter. This is 11 years in the past. On May 6th, Kim Gongja has lived this single day countless times. He repeated it until every action and detail was perfect. Each morning at 9 a.m., he wakes up in his small studio apartment inside a building for F-class hunters. By 3 p.m., he goes to the second-floor hunting grounds to fight slimes. This is exactly what Yoon Soo-ha does at this time in the past. At this moment, Yoon Soo-ha is only an F-class hunter too. He is desperate for a chance to change his fate. Normally, he would gain a powerful S-class skill a week later. That very skill would turn him into the fearsome Flame Emperor. Gongja is determined to stop that from ever happening. At around 5 p.m., Gongja moves to the 6th floor. This is a place too dangerous for ordinary F-class hunters. He has already calculated that for about 30 minutes, only he and Yoon Soo-ha will be there. This is the perfect window for his plan. When Gongja arrives, he finds Yoon Soo-ha already fighting monsters. Everything is unfolding exactly as planned. Gongja makes himself look injured by covering his body and clothes with red slime. This makes it appear as though he has been badly wounded. He approaches Yoon Soo-ha, pretending to be weak. He asks for a potion to heal himself. Yoon Soo-ha notices his condition and asks what happened. Gongja replies that he has already fought several monsters and can no longer fight. Yoon Soo-ha, acting cautious and greedy, refuses to give the potion for free. Gongja tries to negotiate with him. Yoon Soo-ha first demands 20 gold, the standard price, but Gongja declines. Yoon Soo-ha then raises the price to 40 gold. Gongja still refuses. Checking his purse, Gongja finds only 60 gold left, everything he owns. He offers it all, but Yoon Soo-ha still refuses. Instead, Yoon-Soo-ha threatens him, revealing his selfish and cruel nature. Gongja knows there is no reasoning with him now. Before Yoon-Soo-ha can attack, Gongja strikes first. In a swift motion, he draws his knife and drives it into Yoon-Soo-ha. The attack shatters Yoon-Soo-ha's body and ends his life. The battle ends almost instantly. Gongja kicks the corpse aside. He watches as nearby monsters devour the remains. Then, without hesitation, he leaves the 6th floor and returns to the 1st. He feels relieved that no one will ever know what he has done. The Flame Emperor's story ends before it ever begins. Back in the city, life continues as usual. The Blade Saint remains the only hunter strong enough to challenge the upper floors of the tower. Without Yoon-Soo-ha, no one manages to clear it again. Gongja feels a deep sense of satisfaction. He has prevented a terrible future. The world will never know the destruction that might have been. To celebrate, he visits a local bar for a drink. As he waits for his order, an old man enters and sits nearby. The old man orders a simple milk drink with honey. Gongja barely notices at first because he is lost in thought. But when he glances at the man's face, he freezes completely. Kim Gongja's eyes widen in shock as recognition sets in. This old man is the Sword Saint. The Sword Saint's real name is Marcus Callenberry. He was once very famous, but after going missing for a long time, people forgot about him. During his 11-year absence, the Flame Emperor ruled as the top hunter and became unbeatable. Gongja feels shocked to finally meet Callenberry face to face. He immediately realizes that the Sword Saint must possess an S-rank skill. Gongja remembers his own power to copy skills from other hunters. He wonders if he could copy Callenberry's skill as well. He thinks it would be a huge advantage for his own strength. He recalls that during the Sword Saint's disappearance, no one ever found any solid information about him. Callenberry remained a complete mystery. Gongja even thinks it would have been better if Callenberry were at least half as arrogant as the Flame Emperor. Gongja observes the old man carefully. He notices Callenberry shouting at himself, as if talking to someone invisible. It becomes clear that Callenberry often argues with an unseen presence. Gongja confirms that the Sword Saint actually talks to himself. This makes Gongja wonder if all top hunters have something wrong with them. None of them seem normal to him. Gongja remembers reading online that the Sword Saint hates when people mention his grandchildren. The rumor says he kills anyone who brings them up. Story details say a hunter once picked a fight with him. Callenberry ignored the provocation until his grandchildren were mentioned. Then, he attacked immediately, unable to control his rage. The word grandchildren triggers something dangerous in him. Though many people doubted the rumor, the writer insisted it was true. The writer warned that anyone who values their life should never mention Callenberry's grandchildren. In the cafeteria, Callenberry keeps arguing with the invisible being. When he finally leaves, everyone feels relieved. People whisper among themselves that he might be losing his mind. Once Gongja sees him leave, he pays his bill and follows. But when he steps outside, Callenberry is already gone. Shocked, Gongja looks around until he spots him again. Callenberry's distinctive clothes make him easy to recognize. Gongja starts trailing him. Curious about his mysterious skill, he believes whatever Callenberry's power is, it must be stronger than the Flame Emperor's. He feels excited knowing he might soon copy it with his own luck-based skill. Gongja follows the Sword Saint into the woods. Suddenly, Callenberry turns around and tells him to come out. Callenberry is already aware he is being followed. Gongja is stunned by how quickly he was discovered. He grows nervous, knowing that if the Sword Saint kills him here, no one would ever find out. He steps out from hiding, saying he only has a request. The Sword Saint laughs, thinking Gongja's excuse is ridiculous. Callenberry holds his sword, ready to strike. He suspects Gongja is an assassin even though he is unarmed. Gongja realizes he does not need to mention the forbidden word grandchildren to make the Sword Saint angry. Callenberry already seems one step away from killing him. The Sword Saint expects Gongja to approach, but Gongja hesitates. Callenberry, however, is not fooled and watches him sharply. Eventually, Gongja moves closer. He tries to explain that he only wanted to understand why someone so ordinary looking could call himself a first-rate assassin. But before he can finish, the Sword Saint cuts him off and warns him to be silent. Callenberry then reveals that he has a special skill. This skill shows him how many people someone has killed. Gongja is stunned, realizing the Sword Saint must see the mark of his single kill. Although Gongja once believed his reason for that killing was justified, the truth of being seen by such a terrifying hunter makes him uneasy. Gongja tries to explain to the Sword Saint that he has a reason for the single count on his record. The Sword Saint refuses to listen, convinced he is lying. Though Callenberry knows he has killed many people himself, he insists his number is nowhere near as many as Gongja has killed. This statement confuses Gongja. Then the Sword Saint calmly states that he can see 4,091 kills marked on Gongja's forehead. Shocked, Gongja suddenly understands what those numbers mean. One represents the death of Yun Suha, the Flame Emperor. The remaining 4,090 are the times he has taken his own life through suicide. The Sword Saint then demands to know if the Black Dragon's witch sent him. In that moment, Gongja realizes that Kalimberry already sees him as a legendary assassin responsible for thousands of deaths. Terrified, he gives up any thought of copying a skill and turns to flee. He is aware that the Sword Saint will never stop hunting him now. He knows he must eventually find a way to kill the Sword Saint before being killed himself. Seeing Gongja run without replying, the Sword Saint draws his weapon and chases after him. The Sword Saint swings his sword directly at Kim Gongja. Gongja manages to narrowly dodge the deadly attack. Seeing this successful dodge, the Sword Saint becomes even more convinced that Gongja must be a trained assassin. Only a professional could avoid such a precise strike. The Sword Saint continues his relentless assault with powerful sword swings. He forces Gongja to roll across the rough ground to escape. Soon, Gongja finds himself trapped against a tree with nowhere left to move. He braces himself for the final blow. Just then, he hears the Sword Saint speaking again to the invisible being. The unseen presence seems to advise capturing Gongja for interrogation first. However, the Sword Saint rejects the idea out loud. He says he will handle Gongja alone and does not need any interference. Gongja listens to this one-sided conversation carefully. The voice and the exchange sound too real to be simple madness. He starts to suspect the talking is linked to a skill, perhaps telepathy. If that is true, it could mean the Sword Saint is communicating with others. He might already be reporting Gongja's presence to the Hunter Association. Gongja imagines a terrible future. He sees himself being hunted down, arrested, and publicly executed in Babylon Plaza. He realizes he might die within a day if he does nothing. In desperation, Gongja decides to provoke the Sword Saint instead. He gets to his feet and deliberately mentions the Sword Saint's grandchildren. The Sword Saint's expression instantly darkens with fury. Gongja keeps speaking, pressing on with more words about them. Before he can finish his sentence, the Sword Saint cuts him down in a single, swift motion. The attack kills Gongja instantly. As he dies, Gongja watches the Sword Saint's powerful technique with awe and envy. He wishes deeply that he could have that same incredible skill. The moment his death is confirmed, his system status window appears. Several skill cards materialize and display before him. To his great surprise, he sees that the Sword Saint possesses no S+ rank skill at all. The old hunter's strength comes only from his trained body and the abilities he already possesses. Gongja must still choose one skill to copy. Unlike with the Flame Emperor, there are no golden skill cards this time. Only 3 colored cards and 4 silver ones appear. Hoping for something strong, he selects one of the silver cards. Suddenly, time rewinds around him. Gongja finds himself alive again, transported 24 hours before the event. He wakes up in his bed. He immediately checks the skill he obtained from the Sword Saint. The Hunter ability window shows that he has gained Sword Constellation. It is an A+ ranked passive skill. Although it is not the kill count ability he wanted, he opens the card description anyway. He feels curious to see what kind of power the new skill will reveal to him. Just then, Kim Gongja begins to hear someone's voice nearby. He wonders who is speaking so loudly in his room. When he turns to his side, he is stunned to see a large man lying on the bed next to him. The man seems to be talking to an old man, telling him to train quietly at night. Gongja freezes in shock and fear. The man keeps talking to the wall. Gongja finally calls out to him. The man turns, surprised that Gongja can see him. The man stands and hits his head on the low ceiling. He complains about the small house. He asks about Marcus's location. Gongja asks if he means the Sword Saint. The spirit confirms it but calls Marcus a beginner. He still asks where Marcus is while trying to look out the small window. A system window appears before Gongja. It explains the new skill's effect. It embodies a man from another world who conquered the tower's 99th floor. His failure left a deep resentment, turning him into a wandering spirit. The system states he cannot physically exist and can only communicate mentally. Gongja must learn from his experience. Gongja understands the man is a ghost. He asks if he is the spirit the Sword Saint talked to. The spirit confirms it. Gongja explains he copied him from Marcus by accident. The spirit becomes furious and demands to be returned. He grabs Gongja and yells for him to send him back. Gongja says it is impossible to reverse. The spirit reluctantly accepts his new situation, but talks non-stop. Gongja grows irritated and says they must learn to coexist quietly. Gongja remembers how the Sword Saint looked when talking to himself. He tells the spirit he must hide from the Sword Saint forever. The spirit is confused, calling Marcus the kindest hunter. He still warns Gongjia never to mention Marcus's grandchildren. Gongjia says he knows that rule. Gongjia explains he mentioned the Sword Saint because Marcus has a special skill to see a person's kill count. The spirit recognizes it as detective's insight, calling it a useless ability. Gongjia reveals his own kill count is 4,091. The spirit refuses to believe it, sensing Gongjia is a beginner. Gongjia clarifies he only killed one man, a future villain. The other 4,090 deaths are from his suicides. He did it to stop that man 11 years later. He describes his ability to copy the skill of his killer. He mentions the time travel power from the Flame Emperor, making him immortal. The spirit is shocked and becomes deeply interested. He asks for Gongjia's name. He then asks how Gongjia met the Sword Saint and copied his skill. Gongjia says it was a coincidence. He later realized he needed the strongest skills to become stronger. This determination intrigues the spirit. The spirit decides to train Gongjia, but first wants to see him hunt. They go to the forest. Gongjia demonstrates by killing slimes. After watching, the spirit confirms his earlier intuition. The spirit shares about his past life. He was the Sword Emperor in his world, the first to climb the tower quickly. Gongjia remembers the system text about him clearing 99 floors. The spirit says he has seen enough. He tells Gongjia he is already strong. Gongjia insists he has no combat talent and wants training. The spirit replies that Gongjia does have an enormous talent. Gongjia thinks he is joking. The spirit explains Gongjia has no gift for swordsmanship or aura. His body and movements are average, but he has one rare quality. He does not fear death. Dying over 4,000 times erased that instinct. Gongjia is astonished that this is considered a talent. The spirit says talents can awaken through experience. Overcoming the fear of death is the hardest talent to achieve. This leaves a deep impression on Gongjia. The spirit asks what Gongjia thought about when the Sword Saint killed him. Gongjia admits he was admiring the moon and the Sword Saint's technique. The spirit laughs. He remembers Gongjia's skill copies but does not steal, so the Sword Saint still has another version of him. He wonders who will become the better hunter. The spirit declares he will help Gongjia. He will train him so he will not lose to the Sword Saint and may even surpass him. He says it is time for them to conquer the tower together.